welcome to Talk Tuesday about business. My name is Nancy Stadel, and I'm here every Tuesday, 12 noon UK time, in the Business Mission's Facebook page to discuss business advice and tips. I run a business firm called the Business Mission, and we offer a lot of support in helping people set up businesses, structure businesses, their legal aspects of documents that they need for business, their trademark applications, and any other overall business structure. It's a very interesting time, to say the least, at the moment with the pandemic, because a lot of business owners have got to be innovative. COVID sort of pushes those business owners out to sea and says, look, you got to start swimming. So I'm very excited about the times we are. The innovation is delightful. There's so many great opportunities out there to start a business. You can see that, from online shopping to sort of masks to other business opportunities that have been started through COVID. And I think it is through these sort of interesting times where we start to see a lot of interesting businesses start. So today we've got some really great topics that we're going to discuss. The first one is, what sort of business should you start? I see this all over Facebook and on the social media aspect front, is that people sort of go out there and say, what sort of business should I start? And you're thinking, well, I don't really know you. So I don't know what kind of business you could start. But when you do start a business, you should do it because you think it's going to help other people, because also you're going to be with that business for a really long time. Okay, what is the best? Buying into an existing business like a franchise, or creating your own startup? This is a very interesting take here as well. Again, I've worked with business owners who've decided to buy into a franchise, or I've also helped startups. So I'm happy to offer my direction on that. And thirdly, if you start a business with no capital and try to bootstrap it, this experience will be very hard. Why is this? Okay, so there's a lot of people who think that they can bootstrap a business, and it becomes really, really hard. So we're going to discuss those 3 points today. Okay, so let's get started. It's just after 12. What sort of business should you start? Okay, so I've got this picture here of this leopard and this shark. Okay, can you see that? A leopard and a shark. Okay, both of these are very powerful predators. Okay, but don't forget that a shark, on one hand, is very successful at catching fish in the ocean, and the cheetah is very successful at catching prey on the land. Okay, so they're both very successful predators, but they are good in different environments. Okay, this is a very, very common mistake, okay, for a lot of business owners. You need to understand that you are not made for every business, okay? This is why proven franchise business owners and models fail when they are in the wrong hands, okay? I do see this a lot with people, is they say, okay, I'm really good at swimming in the sea, but I'll sign up with Body Shop, which is, a franchise, and I'll do it there. And then they very quickly understand that they are not capable of doing that job, and they get really frustrated. Okay, so not all businesses, like if you're a shark, you're really good in water, and if you are a cheetah, you're really good on land. Okay, so to answer the question, what business should you start? Stop searching for what business you should start. Instead, look within you for the business that is right. Look at what your passion is and what a problem you deal with, and think about how others will benefit. Okay, if you do really like makeup, let's say, or you like skin products, and you decide, I'm going to sign up with the Body Shop to work with them. If you know that that's your passion, which is makeup and body parts, makeup and facial creams and stuff, that's great. But don't start a business thinking, oh, I'm going to make loads of money because I can see these other reps do it, but I don't know anything and I'm not interested in skin creams. Well, it's going to hit you very hard. Okay. Remember, you are the one who makes the business successful. There is no business which magically makes you successful. Okay? So I hope that's given you an idea of what business you should start. You should look within yourself and understand what you're. I said here, this cheetah wouldn't do very good in the water, and this shark wouldn't do very good on land. They know what they are good at. So the shark's really good at water, and the cheetah is very good on the land. Okay, so that's something to take into account there. Okay, so it's Nancy Steidel. I'm here for Talk Tuesday about business every Tuesday, 12 noon. UK time in the Business Missions Facebook, where I offer advice and direction on business. Okay, if you have any friends or acquaintances that are starting a business, please feel free to share this podcast. We do have a YouTube channel which just recently set up, where I do also download these videos after we've recorded them to YouTube as well. Okay, so welcome. We are on to the next question, which is, what's best, buying into an existing business franchise or creating a startup? Okay, so we're going to discuss these points here. You first of all have to ask yourself, are you a manager or are you an entrepreneur? There are two really different abilities for two very different challenges. For example, in some cases, some people are not a manager, but they are an entrepreneur. Okay, and then they struggle to understand their strengths and weaknesses in it. Okay, so maybe they are a terrible manager and they must rely on those people to give them the managing skills. Now, I've made a list of things to think about before you make that decision. Okay, before you make a decision of going into a franchise or starting up your own business. Okay, passion and purpose. Startup. Usually, entrepreneurs are driven by the challenge to provide a problem. They need to believe in the product or service. They are their own vision. Now, existing business, if the business is healthy and it will be the perfect job for the manager to continue working the formula, an entrepreneur won't be challenged. They'll get very bored because the business is already set up. So if you have more of a manager director, you're better to go into a franchise. Okay? Background and experience. With a startup, an entrepreneur doesn't necessarily need management skills to get things going. They could work with somebody to do that. They are good at figuring things out and living with uncertainty. So there's a really big risk when you do a startup. But an existing business, a manager will thrive working in a business. An entrepreneur with no previous management experience will most likely spoil the business. Okay, they will get really antsy because, as an entrepreneur, we have our ways. We're a little bit stubborn. And if you go into something and there is a role already put in place, I don't think a manager role will be suitable for you. Okay? Risk. Okay? So, with a startup, it's very risky. You're going through cash, you're working endless hours without any certainty of a future payout. But an existing business, buy an existing business, is a lower risk decision with a better prediction of future ROIs. If you buy into a business and it's already established and going, or a franchise, you will understand what the return of investment is. When you start up, you don't get that. You can predict, and it isn't until sort of maybe the first or second or even third year before you can actually see any certainty of the amount of money coming in. Okay? Time. A startup is unquestionably a full-time job. You must commit all your time and attention to it, especially the first 3 years. An existing business, buying a running business may be more flexible on your time if you are taking over a business with a current operation. Again, I give the example of body shop is already an existing business. They've got their products, they're on the go. You might not have to, you could do it as part-time, and you've got another job on the side working for somebody. But with a startup, it is full on, okay? Money. Here comes the risk with a startup, but a reward $1 million question. A startup can be slightly, really expensive with startup because you burn cash, but you want to burn as little as possible. But you've got to get creative there. There are multiple ways of achieving your goals with not too much cash. So there is the topic of the money you spend for the business. Now, an existing business, you are buying into a healthy business, which would inevitably demand you to pay an overprice. The better the business opportunity, the higher the price tag and the lower the ROI. Be prepared though that you've got to pay extra upfront fees, maybe not as much as a startup, but there's a couple fees. Okay, again, that's the really difference there between buying into a business and creating a startup. Okay, financing. A startup demands, in some cases, or a business that has already started up but they need to get going, is an angel investor to move it. Okay, existing business, if the business is healthy, you can probably qualify for a bank loan. Okay, but I do suggest you try to stay away from debt as much as possible or borrowing. Okay, borrowing money to start a business doesn't really work. I mean, I have invested in one client, in one young lady who has shown me, she's invested some of her money to do most of the structure. And I thought, okay, great. But it's a big risk. It is a really big risk with that. Okay. And you don't want to put too much debt in the business from the onset because you want to get out of debt with the business. Okay. And it's the same with any franchise that you go into, is that you put money in. Let's say you work at the body shop. Well, you go put money in to buy the products, but you must make sure that you get the return on that investment and that people will buy from you as a body shop representative so you can clear the money that you've put in. Okay? Trends. Startups can be incredibly flexible and can adapt fast to the changing market trends. But with an existing business, watch out for the business that are for sale. Okay, I've coached many investors in the past that they were really excited about a good deal when in reality they were walking into a trap where the market was shifting and being disrupted with new technology. Okay, so that's the real difference there. So I hope that's given you a little bit understanding what's best, buying into an existing business or creating your own startup. Delighted to be here. It's Nancy Steidel from the Business Mission. I'm here every Tuesday, Talk Tuesday about business, 12 noon UK time in the Business Mission's Facebook page. I've had years of experience with business. I've just passed my master's degree in international business law. I've done some economics at Harvard University, and I'm still doing courses. I've just finished a Japanese business management course. So I really have a lot of knowledge with business. And I bring this knowledge onto the plate with my clients to see them succeed in business. So if you've got a startup or you're interested in starting a business, please come see me. I can definitely give you advice and insight to starting a business. Okay, so we are on the last question today, which is, if you start a business with no capital and try to bootstrap, you will experience a very hard outcome. Why is this? Okay, so it's a bit like saying, I want to have a baby without any money to give it proper food, clothing, and in the end, the child will suffer. Okay, can you imagine? You give birth to a baby, you haven't saved up any money for this child, and now you've got a kid in front of you, but you can't feed it, you can't clothe it, and you can't put a roof over its head. This child will suffer. Sure, it might succeed in life, but the journey for that child will be very, very challenging. Okay, people who pride themselves by setting up a business with no money are the ones down the line who desperately look for somebody to save them. Okay, I see this all the time. I mean, I get investment proposals left and right every day from people. And every day they say, please, I need some money to expand my business. No, you don't need some money to expand your business. You've been going 6 years, and what you did is you didn't properly finance this idea from day one. And now you're in the middle of the ocean and you want me to bail you out. And my money isn't going to go to expand it, my money is going to clear your debts. No, you must need money. The things that you need money for are, if you're not clever in business, hire somebody. As the saying goes, it costs more money to fire than to hire. Okay, so if you think, oh, I'll cut corners, I know what I'm doing, but you have no clue, it will bite you in the bum in the long run, and it will cost you more money. And believe me, I've got clients right now who've been going 5 years without a business plan, and boy, the price they've got to pay to fix it is huge. Okay, so if you decide you're going to start a business, just like you're going to go to uni or you're going to buy a house or car or whatever, save the money. Save up the money. Okay, you've got to save the money to start a business. There's things like hiring a business advisor. Myself, I'm a business growth strategist. I help people set up business. Then there's the business plan. Then there's the trademark. Then there's the marketing strategy. Then there's the marketing plan. Then there's the brand strategy. Those things need to be incorporated in the first year of business. Okay, you need to give the baby the time to build the structure. If you say, when you start a business, in month one, this baby must go to work, you will crush the business because you haven't given it the time to structure it. Okay, and then you need a kitty for situations like the pandemic. How are you going to sail through that if business stops, boom, like that? You've got to be able to keep moving. Okay, so you need money to start a business. End of. If you plan from the onset how much money will take it going, then the money will make it run for at least 2-3 years. You're on to a winner. Like I said to you about the analogy of a child cannot work for the first 2 years. Oh, it makes me really cringe when people set out to start a business and they have no respect for their business. They just say, okay, I'm going to set up a Facebook page and this child must work for me now, today. Can you imagine? You give birth to a baby in month one. Month one, you force this child to go make you money. It's so unfair to the kid. You have no respect for this vessel. This vessel, your business is a vessel which allows you to take your passion and your purchase through the vessel. Oh, sorry. I get a little bit overwhelmed. Through the vessel to build this business. That's what it is. The vessel. You're a separate entity to this business, and that vessel will pull your purpose and passion through to the world. Okay? So you have to support this child. There's got to be money to support this child with everything in the first 2 years. A baby comes out, it can't walk, it can't move really fast, especially maybe month 7 when it starts to crawl. And you've got to inject money in that time to make this baby move. Now, after month 13, if the baby isn't standing up, you got a problem. Okay, then you got a problem. There's not enough structure. There was a gap, maybe you didn't put structure in that period or whatever, but that's the problem. Okay, but theoretically, if a child in year 1 has had the time to build that structure, it will walk by year 3. Okay, a child in year 1, if you look at a baby, and year 2 cannot work. Okay, as it doesn't have the strength to. But in year 3, a child in theory with the correct structure from day 1 can make you money. Okay? Listen, Mozart was writing compositions at year 3. Okay? At year 3, he was doing it. Clara Schumann didn't speak until the age she was 4, but by the time she was 7, she was already 3 hours mastering the piano. Okay? At the age 3, Kim Eung-young became taking courses as a guest physics student at the university in South Korea. But by the age of 8, he was invited to the NASA to study at NASA. Okay. So my point here is if you give your business the correct time to build the structure in those first couple years, the first most delicate years from the onset with a written business plan, with a marketing strategy, a marketing plan, a brand strategy, you will be able to understand that you must save money to start this business with your own money, and then the business will flourish. Then in year 3, the business will flourish. I can assure you that 100%. I have a 100% success rate with that model. I've just done my dissertation about business plans, 10,000 words about the research of business plans and how business plans definitely give business owners a further success to their business. Okay? For those who haven't done a business plan, they will crumble. I can assure you that. And, I had a debate with some woman on Facebook, and she was like, look, here are 10 billionaires who didn't do a business plan. I can assure you that they learned very quickly when they did start, they didn't do a business plan, but 3 or 4 years down the line, they realized there was no structure and there was empty air at the bottom, and the business was going into a lot of problems. Okay, and that's what we're experiencing now. We're experiencing all those businesses that are collapsing. It's not because of COVID, it's because they didn't have any structure to their madness. Okay, you need structure to the madness, and it will succeed 100%. I can assure you that. Sorry, I get a little bit wide there. Anyway, I really hope that you've enjoyed today. Talk Tuesday about business, 12 noon UK time in the Business Mission's Facebook page. And as I said to you, we download these videos also on our YouTube channel now, which is the Business Mission as well. And I wish you a very positive and successful week ahead with your businesses. Please, if you haven't done structure your business, pause for a moment. We're in a wonderful time right now, January, beginning of the year. Go back to your business, put that structure so the business has a fair chance in life. It's so sad to see these businesses that never had a fair chance in life because the business owner was just like, I need to get it out there. I need everyone to know about it. Okay? But pause. Give it a fair chance because you know what? It's doing a lot for you. It's taking your vision, it's taking your purpose, it's taking passion and sending it out to the world for you. So you gotta be grateful to that vessel. Okay? I shall see you next Tuesday, 12 noon UK time in the Business Mission's Facebook page for Talk Tuesday about Business, 12 noon UK time. Have a great week ahead. Bye.